I call this a home where children can play because, as you can see, Paul Bethel was developing East Maple Avenue subdivision. Paul Bethel was a real estate magnate and dealer, and in 1927 he took out a series of ads showing, of course, this beautiful Tudor home and some little girls out playing, saying a home where children can play, beckoning people to get out of the crowded city where there weren't enough parks, and to go and buy a home, not only for their own sake and their own health, but for the health and education and welfare of their children. And so lots of acknowledgments here. So I'm going to show you some of the panels from the exhibit that is currently running at the Behringer Crawford Museum, and there's only a couple weeks left to see it. It only runs through September 25th of this month. So if you haven't seen it already, I encourage you, and then you can read about all the special thanks, all the people involved in the exhibit, especially the Scripps Howard Center for Civic Engagement, which sponsored most of the actual cost of the panels, etc., for the exhibit. And if you come into the exhibit, the first thing you're going to see on the left is a family of mannequins. There are South Fort Mitchell or Fort Mitchell family, take it as you may, either way, and they're going, and the time is August 1946, and most of our displays, our 3 dioramas for the exhibit, are in the 1940s. Now this family, consisting of mother and father and 2 children, are instructional, especially for children, because if you think, you know, children don't know much about the World War II and post-World War II era, and so they don't realize that, number one, not everybody had a cell phone, right? They don't know that. Maybe they've heard it from their great-grandparents. Maybe their grandparents even, I don't know, their parents are pretty young and they may have already had cell phones when they were kids, who knows. But they don't know about this, so we want to instruct them, and the first thing we do with school children is to say, and not everybody had 3 cars in the driveway, right? They might have only had 1 car, and Dad had the car, and Dad drove the car in to work in Covington or Newport or Cincinnati, and Mother stayed at home, generally didn't have a job, right, other than the biggest job of them all, and that is running a household and being a mother. So you see here a family, and we actually explain a little bit on the little placard in front. Okay, they have 1 car, Dad's arrived home from work, and they've decided that instead of going to the 4-star Dixie Theater this evening and seeing a moving picture show, they're going to go off to DeVue Park to see Sophie Tucker, who was playing the evening before, August 6th, okay? And they're also going to see Rondell and Jerry. They were a ventriloquist act. Now, I don't know much about, I know a lot about Sophie Tucker. You all know Sophie Tucker, right? Last of the Red Hot Mamas. She was playing at the Lookout House, and the Lookout House would, of course, along with the Beverly Hills Country Club, provide entertainers to come up to the DeVue Park Bowl. So this family's heading off from Fort Mitchell, and it's going to be so crowded that evening, as you can see on this postcard view from that exact concert in 1946, and this is a colorized version of the postcard. They're going to take the streetcar down to the Park Hills, stop. They're going to get off there and walk with their picnic lunch and have a picnic lunch before the concert and before Rondell and Jerry. Now, does anybody know anything about Rondell and Jerry? I couldn't find anything. It must have been a short-lived ventriloquist act, because I even Googled that.